day vlog. Welcome to today's video. I am on the Washington coast right now in Seaview, Washington. I'm on my way to Cape Disappointment. I drove 3 hours through a bunch of rain, expecting it to be a wet and miserable day on the coast, but as you can see around me, we've been blessed with sunshine. I am over the moon about it. There's tire treads in the sand and cars driving on the beach. Very common to do in Washington and Oregon. Too early for my shoes to be this wet. Hero. So I'm back in my car and I think I'm gonna do something that kind of scares me a little bit, but I have faith it should be fine. Obviously, I'm gonna drive on the beach. You can drive on beaches in Oregon and Washington since it is so cold and densely packed. I think I'm just so used to Florida and California beaches that are so sandy and soft, and the idea just kind of wigs me out. But I want to be able to get a good glimpse of the Cape from this angle. I did it. Drove on the beach, great success. Hated every second of it, but worth it. But now I do think it is time to actually enter the Cape. Cape Disappointment is located just north of the mouth of the Columbia River. In the 18th century, Spanish and British explorers were in search of a northwest passage to allow for easier travel and shipping between the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. Spanish explorer Bruno de Heceta sighted the mouth of the Columbia in 1775, but did not enter due to rough sailing conditions and called it a bay rather than a river. 13 years later, in 1788, British fur trader Captain John Meares followed Heceta's report in search of the river, but concluded that it does not exist, and named the headland Cape Disappointment. Cape Disappointment receives about 2,552 hours or 106 days of fog each year, so I wonder if his view is obstructed. I'm just glad today is very clear. These are some of the nicest lightkeeper dwellings I've seen in the state of Washington. These are huge. Cape Disappointment has 2 lighthouses in its park. North Head Light was built in 1897 when mariners complained that Cape Disappointment Light was far too inland and could not assist ships approaching from the north. So here she stands overlooking the Pacific Ocean. In 1856, Cape Disappointment Light was the first lighthouse in the Pacific Northwest. Facing the mouth of the Columbia, she stands 220 feet and was installed with a fog bell, though sometimes it could not be heard over the roar of the ocean waves. It's a steep half-mile walk to get to this lighthouse, which I've done before and highly recommend, but the daylight is fading on me and I'm needed at the beach. This is Waikiki Beach, and on a stormy day you can watch the waves really crash up against the rocks. I'd like to invite you to an intimate moment if you'd like to join me. Today is January 5th, the anniversary of my mother's passing. Her ashes were spread in the ocean, and so every year I go out to the sea and visit her to connect with the beautiful nature and to remember her fondly. This is my day of mourning. Since I don't have a gravesite to go to, I can go wherever the water leads me. I like to think that my mom would have really enjoyed a beautiful place like Cape Disappointment and all the other wonderful places that I've been to. In a way, it's a little flowery to believe that we never truly lose the ones that die, and we carry them in our hearts forever and they're with us always. But being in the ocean and having a quiet moment with the sea really does feel like I'm with my mom. This place is beautiful, and I'm thankful to be here. I'd like to say thank you so much for joining me on today's quest to the ocean on this highly unlikely sunny January day in the Pacific Northwest. I want to say happy travels from me to you, and make sure you always get home safely. Bye, guys.